Good morning, Billy Kingdom. Don't mind my hair. It's been a long, long week here at my house. The flu decided to strike about Sunday night. My son was the first to go down. And then by Tuesday, my daughter was sick. By Tuesday night, my wife was down and out. I took off work Wednesday because she was down, like not getting up. And, by Wednesday night and into Thursday, it was my turn. So I am not 100%, maybe 80, and even that might be a little bit generous. I'm definitely still feeling it a little bit. You can probably hear it in my voice. But things still have to happen. I mentioned at the end of the last episode that my compressor died. The pump threw a rod. It's knocking pretty good. So my father called this morning, and apparently Roy told him there's a smoking deal on an air compressor at Home Depot. So my dad called and said he was on a race to Home Depot to go get an air compressor. So I need to dig this one out of here. You can see I have it tucked in a corner, and my shelf is kind of in the way. So I need to pull this thing out of here, get the air unhooked. It's already unplugged, but we got to get it out of here. So this this air compressor has a little bit of sentimental value to me. It was actually my motor builder's air compressor. Some of you may know who that is. His name was Jack Sherman. Jack was a Vietnam vet and just an awesome dude. Kind of an ornery old dude, but just awesome. Just an awesome guy. And when it came to building motors, they used to call him the professor because he understood the physics of it and how to make it perform at its best. I won a lot of races with Jack's help. And unfortunately, we lost him a few years ago now. I don't even know how many years ago. It may have been 10. Hard to say. I don't know, but he is missed. And this was his. He didn't have kids. And when he passed, I guess my dad and my uncle and our friend Bill, I guess they were his closest friends / family, I guess. So it fell on them to kind of take care of everything and dish it out with Jack's girlfriend at the time, who unfortunately has now also passed. So we divvied it out and sold a bunch of stuff and, gave some stuff to her, and we divvied it out. But I wound up with the air compressor. I wound up with some tools in a toolbox. Actually, that whole toolbox, I think, was Jack's, now that I think about it. My toolbox went away and that one showed up. So there's tools scattered about, but this was the biggest piece of equipment I got. And I know that if I was to tell him that the pump blew up and I was thinking about buying a pump, that he would tell me to just go buy a new compressor. He'd tell me to stop being stupid and just go buy a new one. But if I can get a pump, I'm going to fix it because it does have sentimental value. But I got to get this thing out of the way so that we can get the new one in here. As it turns out, I didn't have to move the shelf. It was literally spaced exactly the width of this. It rubbed on both sides, but it slid right out of there. Almost like I planned it that way. Y'all know I didn't, but we can think I did, I guess. So, as you can see, I pulled the guard off of the belt, which appears to be really, really crooked. That's interesting. Huh. It's probably been running like that for a long time. It's not chewed up, but or maybe that crank is wobbling because of the rod. I'll tell you, it was making some awful noises. I was running the air grinder inside the race car, cleaning up all those spots that my dad cut out of there. And, when the air grinder's going, you can't hear really anything else. That is not me. That's the air tank draining. I'm trying to loosen this motor up. so I can get the belt off. What was I saying? Sorry, my brain's not 100%. I was running the air grinder, cleaning up the spots that my dad cut out inside there. Is this thing for real right now? And I stopped the air grinder, and I was like, oh my God, what is that noise? And I turned around and looked at the air compressor, and it was just knocking loud, like knocking, like a 350 that broke a rod. Like, I'm glad I didn't poke a hole in the block and dump oil all over the floor. That would have sucked. But it was knocking so bad that like it would knock, and then it would like seize for a second, and the belt would squeal. That's probably how the belt got kicked off. The belt would start squealing because the motor was still running, but that locked, and then it would unlock and it would start knocking again. Oh, it was bad. It was really, really loud. So it was obvious what the problem was. I mean, that's always, I guess, look at the positives. I just ripped my knuckle off. That's not a positive. But, so Roy, who you've seen in videos before, told my dad there was a compressor on sale, and Dad ran to Home Depot to go get it. But he also told Dad that he has an old compressor that the tank rotted out on. So, with any luck, maybe we can take the compressor pump off of that compressor that Roy has. That belt's still good. And put it on this one. That's what I'm hoping anyways. So, I'm going to get this compressor pump off of here. That's the first step. Get this thing off of here so that if we can get the other one, we can mock it up. Obviously, you can go on Google and order a compressor pump. They are on there, but I can't get this compressor pump. They apparently don't make it anymore. I know, huge surprise. There's a million options, though. So, like, I took a measurement of the bolt pattern of the feet, in hopes that I could find one that would just bolt back on. Maybe it wouldn't be exactly the same, but it would at least bolt up to the feet, and maybe this dimension would be the same. I know, hopes and dreams. I can't find anything because the dimension here is 6.5. Are these dogs for real right now? Yeah, it's like 6.5 by 6.5, which is odd that it would be square, but it is. So I can't find one 6.5 by 6.5. There's a lot of options. There's a ton of options. There was so much water in the bottom of this tank. It's ridiculous. Like, my foot is wet because of the puddle on the floor. Anyways, like, can you see? Like, I'm not 100%. My brain is just, the ADHD is like, whoa! It's on overdrive. The ADHD is kicking today. Yeah, so there's a lot of options for compressor pumps, but a compressor pump's like, $200 to $300. The compressor my dad's going to buy today is on sale for like between $200 and $300. So he's gonna go buy a whole compressor for what I would have to pay to just like get a pump. And that's like if I was to just like Harbor Freight has some. They're V, like a V. My brain. It's like a V-shaped head on it, like a V-rod. That's not true, but, whatever. You're picking up what I'm putting down. So it would definitely not quite fit properly. And again, the bolt pattern on the bottom isn't the same. So all this piping over here that goes to the tank and the controller, I was hoping to not have to make new stuff, obviously. So that's that. Now, I did find a couple that look very similar to this pump, but the base is different. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what Roy's got. Maybe what Roy's got is extremely similar. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the same. Speaking of hopes and dreams, that's probably not going to happen. But you never know. It might be. Maybe it's an old compressor Craftsman like this one. Now, that being said, Craftsman does still make a 6 horsepower, 60 gallon compressor. It is $800. between $800 and $900 to buy a new replacement of the same thing that we have. So, I'm not rich. We know that. We won't be doing that probably. I did find some used 60-gallon compressors on Marketplace. In the $300, $400 range. We actually found one this morning that is a Craftsman, believe it or not. I think Dad messaged on it, but then Roy told him that smoking deal was at Home Depot for a brand new one. So off he went to retrieve it. And with that information and Roy saying he may also have a compressor pump, I guess we're going to do what we're going to do. I think you know by now that, anything's possible if you're creative enough. So even if it's not exactly the same, if I can get it on this base enough to line up the pulleys, and I can get, the plumbing on the other side to line up or make new stuff, then we can make it work. You just got to be creative enough. I mean, I tell you guys all the time, keep it creative. That's how you get stuff done. It's a big part of it anyways. So maybe I'll have to drill some holes in the base to put a different pump on. That's okay. The tank's still good. Tank's not rotted out. Tank's in great shape. And it's got cool stickers on it. I wish I had a Jack Sherman sticker to put on it. I'm surprised it doesn't have one on it, actually. Because we did have a couple kicking around. Speaking of that, I should have Brian make me some retro Jack Sherman performance stickers. I'm sure there's a lot of people I know that wouldn't mind having some of those. All right, that's unbolted. I just got to unhook the piping and get that out of the way. I gotta find some paper towels first. She's a little oily. I'm not gonna lie. I neglected this thing. That's on me, 100%. I don't know that I've ever changed the oil or checked it for that matter. Not that there's a... Maybe you're supposed to check it here. I don't know, but it's obviously been breathing some of it. I mean, some of this could be just from the air in the shop, I guess. Things I'm doing out here. But there's a lot of oil. Oh, excuse me. And whatnot on this. That air filter looks disgusting. Yeah, I didn't take care of it. That's my fault. Probably also why it blew up. You're supposed to take care of this stuff. Don't sit there and act like you take care of your air compressor. Really? You're going to tell me you change the oil and check the oil regularly on your air compressor? I don't believe that. Not for a second. You're like me. You got enough stuff going on. The last thing you're thinking about is that air compressor stuffed in the corner of your shop. As long as it keeps pumping air, you don't do anything to it. Maybe occasionally you go open the drain valve on the bottom and bleed the water off. Obviously, I didn't do that either because there's like, sorry, like 5 gallons of water on my floor right now. What are you going to do? It is what it is. Right? Isn't this like super exciting YouTube video? Like I got sick and now we're trying to replace / fix an air compressor. Oh, that was my not funny bone. Yep. As you can tell, I am really on my game. Super, super on my game. We're killing it over here. Things are going swimmingly. We do have what you can't see behind you right now is like 4 or 5 boxes from Rock Auto. Let's open some boxes. Let me get this last line off of here, this control line off of this, and get this pump off of here, and then we can do some unboxing. I hear they like that stuff on the internet. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Where's my knee pad? I'm too old for this shit. There it is. You know, my father, told me for years, get a knee pad or wear knee pads or whatever. You're going to wear out your knees. You're going to pay for it later. He also used to say, don't use your hand as a hammer. Your hand is not a hammer. Don't hit stuff. He was right, and I was stubborn, like most of you young teenagers and early 20s guys are. He was right. I keep telling you that. He was right. My knees bother me now. I've already had carpal tunnel surgery on this hand. That's life of a mechanic stuff, but, you know. Pretty sure this is all suspension stuff. But, did we get it all? I don't know. Maybe. I don't like these things. My kids love them. They like to pop them. That is a box with one random spring in it. It is a rear spring. That's my right rear spring. Brad, what is it? Not going to tell you. If you text me, not text me. You're not going to text me. You don't have my phone number. If you message me on, oh man, I'm in great shape. A Subaru wagon. Okay, Rock Auto. If you message me on Facebook, I will give you part numbers. I've done that for people for a long time. If you want to know what I run for a suspension, what you should put in your Cobalt to make it handle like a dream, all you got to do is message me, and I will tell you. Whether or not it's legal for the class you're running, that is on you. You better read your own rule book and figure that out on your own. Because I know you guys out west, like IMCA, have like super strict rules on what you're allowed to do. There's a pretty good chance that you're going to be limited to spring rubbers. Now, I run SCDRA. We are not allowed to use racing springs. So, that is a stock replacement spring. But which model did it come off of? I don't know. What is this? I am confused. That does not look like something I ordered. Aha! That is a sway bar end link for my wife's Traverse. Because after we got done putting that back together, it started making weird knocking noises. And my only assumption is sway bar end link. What's this one? Abima W. Abima Simsima. Yeah. This is a rear shock absorber for the race car. Another rear shock absorber for the race car. And a whole bunch of paper. Okay. Man, they wasted a lot of room in that first box, didn't they? This one's bigger. What do we got here? Simsima. Who got the keys to my bimmer? Who am I? Delusional. Because I've been sick all week. Oh, I got some big stuff in here. More bubble wrap stuff. Okay. Sorry, that was probably loud. Problem solver, huh? This, I believe, is going to be new control arm bushings for the front control arms. Did I put enough tape on it? Yeah. So, being that this was a Southern car, a lot of time the rubber in the Southern cars, yeah, they don't rot out, but the rubber gets all hard and dry rotted. And basically that is what happened to the front control arms. The rear bushings are kind of dry and brittle. And this is a much stiffer, I wouldn't say it's a solid rear bushing, but it's definitely stiffer than what comes from the factory. And my dad wanted to try them. Donnie runs these on his car. And I don't know, Dad was curious. So I ordered a set. If you want to know what they are Moog K200792. The problem solver. Bushings. Control arm bushings for a Cobalt. I hope those are the right ones. But what is this thing? What is this big box? It says TRW on it. That one I'm confused about. Oh, that is also springs. This is a front spring. It's my right front spring. So I was able to get the rear spring in a single spring, but the front one only came in pairs. So square end identification. Yeah, I don't care. So anyways, I have an extra one, which is fine that they come in two because, I mean, most likely you're going to want to build another strut to have as a spare anyway. So might as well get two front springs. You're not going to most likely you're not going to need another rear spring. But fronts, you're probably going to bend a strut. So you might as well get two, and then you can build two struts. We are also going to cut one loop off that brand new spring. Because these directions look old. This whole box looks old. Like this thing's been on the shelf forever. That's pretty wild. Installation instructions for a TRW coil spring. This feels vintage. Whatever. One more box. Come here. Last box. Hey, that one didn't have a magnet in it, did it? What? Get over here. Ah, there it is. What? A Jetta. That's an old Jetta, too. Square body. Anyways. Ooh, this one's heavy. Ugh. Just put these here. Stay there. All right. Last one. I still got that song stuck in my head. Sim Simma. Who got the keys to my Beamer? Strut. Is that all that's in here? Struts? Blowing out your guys' eardrums because I actually have a microphone on. Is the sound better? Man, they put enough of this crap in here? Oh, all right. What's hiding down here? Top bearings. Brand new mounts. Brand new mounts and top bearings, strut bearings. And brand new KYB struts. There we go. What's this magnet? Oh, Simsima. Who got the keys to my Beamer? I need to keep all these receipts. I don't know who I'm kidding, man. Gotta turn that stuff in for your taxes. Well, that's it for unboxing. Dad's gonna run and grab that pump from Roy. He just texted me, and the new compressor that he went to go get was not a 220 volt. I don't think he bought it. So he's gonna run to Roy's and see if he can pick up that pump. So hopefully we can fix the air compressor. But I might as well start building some struts. Who am I? I don't know the rest of the lyrics. Let's build some struts. Well, that is not supposed to look like that. As you can see, the sticker got all oil bathed. That's no good. Gonna have to return that to Rock Auto and have them send me another one. Well, that's a bummer. But we put the shocks on the rear end and got that cocked in place up there. I probably should have showed you how we do that. Basically, I took a ratchet strap, I hook it to that side, pull that side forward, take a ratchet strap, hook it to that side, pull that side back, tip it under the back of the car for rear steer. And then I did put a 1/32 shim under the front of this hub too for a little extra. But that's personal preference. So yeah, one new spring in on that side, some new shocks, bingo bango. And then I was going to work on struts and I found this here. I did put one together, the left front, but this was supposed to be my right front. And, well, that's a holding pattern. Sweet. All right, well, Dad bought it anyway, as you can see. So this air compressor apparently is normally like $499 at Home Depot. But it was on clearance for like $250. So I guess if you're looking for an air compressor, maybe this deal is still available. I don't know. Go on Home Depot's website find this air compressor, and apparently there's like a clearance button you press or some shit, Dad said, and it came up to like $249 or something on clearance. So he bought it anyway because he's like, at that price, we'll use it somewhere. Cool. But he's currently on, he just left. He's currently on his way to go over to Roy's and grab the other compressor that we can hopefully steal the pump off of so that we can put my big old 60-gallon 6 horsepower back together. Because, I mean, that's cool, 27 gallons, but it's 110, and it's only 27 gallons, but that's 60 gallons, and it's 220. So, anyways, we're going to plug this one in for now and use it, because I do need air. We got to oval out the holes in the one strut I did get to put together. These holes for camber, you know. And, yeah, so he said I have to read the directions, though, before I just plug it in. So I got to read the directions. Yeah, that's going to happen right now. What's up, y'all? I'm just leaving FedEx because I had to ship that bad strut back to Rock Auto because I need a good one to put the car together. But anyways, quick outro because it's Monday night and we got to get this video put together so I can put it out tomorrow. The compressor. Gave it a pretty good test. I ran the plasma cutter for a little while. We cut a skid plate out, cut out all the door plates and stuff. Works pretty good. I mean, it's not as good as my old compressor, but it works pretty good. Definitely worth the money. So I hope some of y'all can kind of catch that deal. But other than that, we're just moving forward on this race car. I'm feeling a lot better today. This is Monday. I'm feeling pretty good, maybe like 95%. I just need like a really good night's sleep, you know. But we'll be back at it. We're going to keep on it this week. And I guess until next time, keep it creative. Happy building.